G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game of Age of Empires 4. Today, we are once again back to watch some elite classic gameplay and take a look what we have got here. Early mining camp on the stone outcropping. That is because we've finally got some Byzantines back with it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it because we got ourselves undoubtedly a very good game that we are about to witness because these are two top level players. Let's get into it. In the north of the map, in the color blue, playing as the House of Lancaster. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Happy Cat. Very excited to see him. I know my son would be excited to see him. My son is, he's going through a cat phase at the moment. And he woke up this morning. I said, hey, mate, how'd you sleep? And he just looked at me and goes, meow. All right, buddy. Fair enough. He's a happy cat. And on the south side of the map, in the color orange, playing as the Byzantines, ladies and gentlemen, it's Core. He's back again. It's been a while since we've seen him, but it's great to have his return on the channel. When was the last Core game that we casted? It must have been a while ago. But anyway, I'm enjoying it so far. I'm sure it'll be a good game, and hopefully you're enjoying it as well. If you are, make sure you go ahead and leave a like on the video, and let's get to it. Let's get to the action because we've got a brand new civilization here, the House of Lancaster, the English variant, going up against one of the newer additions. I say newer with quotation marks. It's been in the game for about 18 months now. One of the newer additions to Age of Empires 4, of course, it's the Byzantines. Now, Core's not playing as purple today, so we will have to forgive him because purple is considered the Byzantine color. Definitely looks the best in that color, but orange is still pretty damn decent as well. And I'm curious to see exactly how he looks to play this because there's been some changes to the Byzantines. So most notably, the cost for systems used to scale based on how many you had. So the first one would cost less than the last one that you would build. And if we take a look right now, you'll see that the costs for these systems are static. It is a flat 125 that you're now going to be getting through. So that means that Core has found himself a nice little opening here. He's going to be working towards. You can see that second system now should be able to come down. And we do see on the other side of the map, the age up already starting to come through. And by the way, what a beautiful little spot back here. This is incredible when you think about it, right? The Lancaster Castle is going to be providing arrow slits to all of your manors. So realistically, you could put the mining camp over here. I'd be much more tempted to put the mining camp over here, though. Has Happy Cat spotted this out? He has spotted it out. It's a bit more of a walk, so don't get me wrong. But at the same time, you put the mining camp over here. You build your manors around this stone and the gold. Good luck ever getting in here, man. This is incredibly powerful. But interestingly, we do only see 2 villages on the age up, which is coming through for Happy Cat. I'm curious to see what the play is for him. He's probably going to be having to drop a house down in the transition period here. Let's check in with Core, though, see how he's doing. That age up about to come through for him as well. Probably going to be on the berries. Let's take a look and see. He's thinking about it. Where am I going to put this bad boy? Okay, we'll throw it down over there. It's the Grand Winery. It's coming up now for him. 4 vills on the age up. And yeah, I'm excited to see how this goes because the Byzantines, obviously, they've got a couple of changes. Still a very powerful civilization. You know, in terms of overall strength, you have to put them quite high just because of that huge power they get in the Castle Age. A lot of, yeah, a huge amount of tempo just from the berries that come through. Obviously, got a lot of tempo in the early game as well. But we'll check back in on the other side. I wonder from Happy Cat's perspective exactly how he looks to play this, but it looks like it might just be a standard kind of opening. He's moving out another villager onto the age up. That's going to be 3 vills. Is he? Oh, he's doing this. This is an interesting approach. I haven't actually seen this one before. So he's keeping 2 vills on food. Well, actually, no, there's 3 vills on food. I apologize. And you can see that he's rallying out over onto the Lancaster Castle. And this is actually a really smart way to get more villagers on gold without actually getting early villagers on gold. So normally, one of the key things that you're looking for whenever you're doing a build order, and when you're trying to optimize a build order, is you're looking to minimize walking distance for villagers. And one of the things that that's quite difficult is if you open up with 2 villagers on gold, then you've got to bring villagers from elsewhere because you need more than 2 villagers to build this landmark to get it up in time. But you can see right now he's actually going to be dropping down 2 manors at the exact same time. 4 minutes and 15 seconds. That is an incredible timing that Happy Cat has managed to hit this one with, and still rallying out more villagers out here. So he's going to be looking to pick up the early open field system, I would suspect. Or is that the second? I think that might be the second upgrade. We'll have to double check, but you can see he's got a huge amount of vills out here building. Let's check in on that south side, though, and see how Core is doing as the age up has come through. Wheelbarrow immediately clicked. What's the play here for him? Does he look to go Castle Age? Does he look to spend a little bit more time in the Feudal Age? We'll have to wait and see what the play is, but for the moment, he's only got the 2 villagers on stone, so unlikely to move into that second town center. Expect to see a mercenary house. I'm just going to double check and make sure that I'm not telling porkies. There we go, mercenary house. But no, it is a stable. that is going to be going down first and foremost. So starting us off with a couple of horsemen potentially, but there's that third mana now coming down. You can see 5 minute and 10 timing there for Happy Cat in the end, and he's actually moved off stone. Interesting decision. So just going with the 3 opening manas and then over onto gold. He's got 5 villages, a whole bunch of food. Is he going straight castle? I love this. This is very similar to the build order that I actually posted on YouTube right as this expansion came out, where it was basically, you know, I think that this could be good, where it's essentially a 3 mana fast castle. And what's interesting about this is you still get a very competitive time for your castle age. You can also back this up with some very strong power from the stables, so you can really look to utilize the King's College through the Hobblers or through the Knights, whichever way you're going to take it. But you can now see he's got that next villager, 8 vills now here, out on the gold, over on the gold. Still, how many sheep does he have underneath here? He's just slaughtered another one. A bit hard to tell exactly. He's got 4 at the very least. We can hear that scout trying to do a bit of damage, but not going to be the case. There's the first of the horsemen coming out on the map. Well, right on board with Core now, as he looks to put the pressure on. Technically, he's already got a horseman that's out on the other side of the map, yet to really find a way through. Of course, he would be wanting to pressure that stone. We do indeed know that that is stone, but hold on a minute. Stable now coming up for Happy Cat, but take a look at this. You can see from the resources he is intent on aging up. He could look to get a unit or 2 out here, but for the moment I think the best bet is just going to be going castle and then just dropping knights. Otherwise you're just going to delay your age up by doing that. And you can see right now, despite having 9 villages on gold, he's still behind when it comes to his gold. It's absurd just how much food you generate with this civilization. All of these villages, keep in mind that they're all getting that bonus food generation on top of the fact that you've got the triple mana. So Happy Cat should be able to click up within the next 10 seconds or so, should be able to get himself up into the castle age, probably going to be going up into the King's College. It doesn't really make sense to go White Tower here, just simply because there's really not much you can do with it at this point. Like, where are you going to be securing it? And look at the amount of vills that move back. He is going White Tower? That is so weird. Why White Tower? Like, what's the reason? You're not under any pressure. You've clearly not scouted any real risk here. Of course, there are a couple of horsemen out, but you're not going to die. You could just easily go King's College here. I don't agree with this, Happy Cat, but you know what? You're the cat and you're kind of happy, so I'm going to have to let it go just for my son's sake. But weird decision. So if this was the OG English, I would 100% appreciate and respect this. The whitetail makes a lot of sense. And the reason why is because it acts as a flexible production building. You can build barracks, or you can build barracks units, you can build infantry, you can build archers, you can build cavalry, you can build siege out of it, you can build everything out of the White Tower if you're playing as the English. But as the New English, the House of Lancaster, that's not the case. In fact, the White Tower serves primarily as a defensive outpost, that's it. And you get a couple of Earl's Guards with it. So you start off with these 3 Earl's Guards, and that's it. It's really not much. Now, there is definitely a world where you can play into this a little bit more. So as an example, you can go into, instead of the Wingard Palace, going into the Berkshire, and that's going to increase the amount of damage that you get from the House Unified bonus, which is a bonus that we really haven't seen much of, if I'm honest with you, at least from the House of Lancaster perspective, but perhaps that's what Happy Cat is looking to play into today. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see exactly what the play is. Look at the daggers as he's chasing down these longbows. Decent damage. My lord, that damage is absurd. What is that? 17 dagger damage? That is incredible. Oh my lord, those Earl's Guards absolutely hit like a truck, dude. 6.5 range on them as well. That is incredible. But now really looking to move forward. Keep in mind, these are essentially men-at-arms, unique men-at-arms. They've got that ability to throw daggers, but they're outnumbered by a country mile here, and you can see the Knights now going to be coming in, looking to try and get a bit of a chase on. Do manage to get the point-blank charge off. He's done a nice little cheeky trick down here, and still you can see those Earl's Guards managing to do work here. He's trying to beat up the Lametanai. But unfortunately, it looks like the numbers are going to be a little bit too strong for Core today, and he's going to be forced back away from this position. Has obviously opted for the longbows himself, so we may have some potential longbow versus yeoman out today. The double stable, together with the archery range, now getting dropped down. Monastery already through. Core a little bit behind. Keep in mind, he is still in the feudal age here, and has well and truly been beaten back. So now I guess the question of the White Tower is a bit more interesting, because there are 2 components to this, right? If we actually, there's, I guess, 3 components to this landmark, if we were really to break it down. First and foremost, it's defense, right? Defense. It's defense. That's the first thing. So you're keeping yourself alive, guaranteed. Second thing is the Earl's Guards. So you're getting units that you're able to move out. Sorry, I just bumped the microphone. You're getting units that you're able to move out onto the battlefield, able to prevent your enemy from moving, or at the same time try and keep them in their base. But then the third part is that you're contributing to that House Unified bonus. So the way that it works is simple. I say simple. It's not. I mean, it's simple. Essentially, you've got units in your House of Lancaster army that get this bonus called the House Unified bonus, and that bonus adds damage each time that you have a stack of it. So your maximum stacks allowed is 4. And the way that it works is for every keep that you've got, you get an extra point. So if you've got 4 keeps, you'll have 4 points, and that will give you 4 damage on the House Unified units. So as an example, an Earl's Guard is one of those House Unified units, and it would be picking up bonus damage. The Lancer, or the Knight, is not. It doesn't get that bonus. However, the Demi-Lancer, which is the unique Lancer that you're able to get through your landmarks, as an example at the Lancaster Castle, or through the Wingard, you're able to get that Demi-Lancer, and that Demi-Lancer will pick that up. Now, it is set at 4, the maximum capacity. However, it can be increased to 6 through the Berkshire Palace. And oh, we got ourselves a little bit of a crossing right here. These are 2 Conqueror 3 players, by the way. Not just Conqueror 3 players. These are Conqueror 3 plus, with each one of those pluses representing 100 ELO over the Conqueror 3 threshold. So these guys are very good. But obviously, there's a bit going on the map at the moment, and both of them just kind of phase through each other and just pretend that they don't see what is going on with these villagers. These villagers are just a little bit indecisive, but fortunately, they've been caught on the edge of a stealth forest, so it means that Core is not going to be able to get his hands on the rest of them. He's going to try his best to come out of the stealth forest, and there we go. Another one goes down, gets another one. That's 3 in total. Not going to get the 4th one. Oh, he gets it. He might even get the 5th one. He does indeed. He gets every single one. At the same time, towards the front of the base, we see Happy Cat is getting himself a little bit more satisfied as to how this push is starting to really go yeoman together with these knights making their way forward. Next relic has come through. That's 3 relics now in his possession. And Golden Horn Tower now going to be completed for Core on the south side of the map. So pretty standard Byzantine opening so far in this game. Knights looking to put pressure on the Gold Veins. There's a handful of Lametanai there, and that's going to force them back. I don't know why Happy Cat didn't want to take that. I felt like he 100% could have. And now I'm going to move right on top of these longbows and look to clean them out. At the same time, the yeomen underneath the town center are going to get absolutely cleaned up, and you can see that the villagers here just going to ignore them for the moment. Go straight up to the north. Look to try and repair the mining camp, maybe. Why not? Why not? But at the same time, I mean, Core could be in a bit of trouble here. His units are out on the map at the moment, and this is the main defense, and you can see that these knights are on the other side. Fortunately, there's a bit of an escape going on right now. Core outmaneuvering his opponent. Villagers do remain alive, even though ideally he'd like them on other resources. They're going to make their way through that gate and come out over onto the deer here. And of course, it's going to be a little bit harder to get out onto that position. 4th relic now going to be picked up as well for Happy Cat, so that's going to guarantee. Is this another 4 spawner? We had one earlier. No, there's the 5th relic. I was going to say, we had one earlier today where only 4 relics spawned on the map. I was curious if this one was also going to be that case, but it doesn't appear to be. Unfortunately, all the knights going to be cleaned up. That's 3 that go down immediately, running into the wrong neighborhood, or at least running towards the wrong neighborhood. Do you hear that? I heard like a really deep sound. I was like, I wasn't sure if it was IRL or if it was in the game. It's always hard for me to tell. It's not that I live near somewhere that's just got deep music playing all the time. To me, it kind of sounded, I'm not going to say it sounded like a didgeridoo, but it was definitely very deep. And I was like, what is that? What is that noise? Market now going to be dropped down for Happy Cat. Let's switch it over to income per minute, get a bit of an idea on where these two currently sit. Because keep in mind, not only do we have the town center, not only have we got the relics, we've also got the manors to consider. This is going to be 5 now out of a total 6 that he can potentially build. And of course, that open field system may be coming through shortly. We can see that's the 6th manor now that he's going to be putting down. We'll be working towards that open field system and looking to go up to a total capacity of 9 manors. Now keep in mind, each one of these manors representative of about 3 villages. So right here, as an example, you've got 6 times 3, 18 villages equivalent. Each relic equivalent to about 2 villages. So here you've got another 6 villages, another 8 villages. So you've got your 8 And then you've got your 18. And so now you've got a 26 villager lead over your opponent, even though right at the top it says that there's a 4 advantage to core. Technically, that number is quite a bit higher for Happy Cat, even though this is only counting your villagers. When it comes to their economic power, though, we do suspect, or at least I suspect, Happy Cat should be quite a bit ahead of core. Now, of course, core's going to have other bonuses in play here. As an example, he's got the Grand Winery, he's got the Relic inside there. He's also got the olive oil to consider, and he's also training units that aren't counted on this table at all. Do we call it a table? They're not counted in these stat lines at all. So that's another consideration to make. But if we were to compare the pair right now, you would be looking at roughly about 1.5k here, 2k, around 2k for Happy Cat, and then compare that over to core, and you're looking at about 1.5k, maybe 1.6k on a good day. So Happy Cat definitely ahead on the resources per minute for the moment. Resources per minute? Resources per minute. Let's go with that. There's only a single minute that we count those resources by. No, it's not like, how many resources did you get over 3 minutes? No, we don't do that. Even though technically that would probably be pretty cool if we could do that. Anyway, crossbow. Just gonna sacrifice himself to the longbows. Numbers starting to look a little bit better now. Happy Cat, got to be careful. You can see these longbows come towards the front, able to take out another villager. He's lost 6 so far this game. A little bit of a repair coming through. Yeoman doesn't have the synchronized shot yet, I don't think. No, he doesn't. So does need to be cautious in how he plays this, because core's offense is quite strong. First of the cataphracts is out as well. Something to be cautious about. These units are incredibly powerful. We've seen them work their magic over the last 18 months in Age of Empires 4. Been undeniably the most powerful cavalry unit, with the exception of one factor, and that is that they have the inability to charge. They do not charge, and because of that, I mean, you kind of need a charge. Charging's important. But now beginning to move forward, you can see we've got these Earl's Guard. They're going to be having that dagger throw as well as the House Unified bonus for a max of 4 damage extra. But obviously only going to be getting that 1 damage for the moment, and that's coming through from the White Tower. But the defense for the moment from Happy Cat is solid. It's unremarkable. Let's just put it that way. The offense from core was unremarkable. The defense from Happy Cat was successful. Lunch Connector now going to move into this army as well. So we're going to be focused on these Earl's Guards, at least today. I'm curious to see how Happy Cat plays this into the Imperial Age, mainly because I'm very excited at the prospect of seeing a Berkshire Palace, because a Berkshire Palace is iconic of the English. In fact, you could say it has been the one landmark that, no matter the circumstances, you can always just throw a Berkshire down and it's always going to feel good. However, compared to the Wingard, when you're playing the House of Lancaster, the Berkshire is, well, let's just put it this way, it's yet to be explored. So keep in mind, this is a tournament game that we're watching right here. This is an EGC TV game from the Elite Classic 3. Money is on the line. And Happy Cat, a Conqueror 3 player up against Core, another Conqueror 3 player, has decided, you know what? Maybe it's a good idea that not only do we go White Tower, but maybe we also go for something a little bit, hold on, let me grab a villager here, a little bit fancier. Maybe we go for that Berkshire. So we'll keep an eye out here on his perspective. Billman upgrade now going to be coming through, as well as fertilization. Really looking to get that economy going. At the same time, on the side of Core, we start to see military training coming in. This is going to guarantee he's got that faster generation of units, or training of units. It's also going to reduce the time it takes for the lunch connector to come out, if I remember correctly. I'm hoping that I remember correctly. I might be remembering incorrectly. Often these mechanics get changed, and I will forget the patch notes. I always wonder if it's the early onset Alzheimer's. Just so you know, I'm not diagnosed with it, but I just got that suspicion, you know? You forget one too many things and you're like, I shouldn't have forgotten that, you know? It was only breakfast. But there you go. Anyway, get yourself checked. I should take my own advice. I gotta speak to my GP, dude. I'd book it in, but I'd book her in. But I tell you what, I don't know. I don't want to pay the $80, man. It's too expensive. I'll self-diagnose. Don't worry. All right. Well, it's only a progressive degenerate disease. Degenerative. I mean, it's probably a degenerate disease as well, isn't it? But yeah, no, good idea. All right, I'll get checked. Speaking of getting checked, have a look at this as we check out the base of Core right now. Adding in a second TC, a sneaky little second TC. Definitely the right course for him to be moving a little bit more focus to the economy. We're 19 minutes through this game, and obviously These guys are gearing up for late game warfare. That has been very clear. The fact that the White Tower came down that early on definitely demonstrated to me Happy Cat was in no mood to be dying early on in this game. On top of that, Core has continued to wall up quite, I wouldn't say aggressively, but he's, if anything, he's just done it very well. I love these walls from Core. These are pixel perfect walls. One of the biggest issues that players make with regard to walls is they get too big with them. They go too far out, too deep with them. You know, instead of walling something close like this, what you'll find is they might wall out here, which seems okay until a whole bunch of hobblers come out here and just burn it down immediately. And because it's so far away for you to defend, it's going to mean that you need to get units out there. It's going to take longer for you to get there. And because of that, you fail in defending. So by keeping your walls close, it makes it easier to defend. And now all of those Earl's Guards teeing off at the same time. Now keep in mind, that's a little bit of AoE damage that comes through when they do that dagger throw. It's not 100% accurate. There's also an upgrade that you can get for it that comes along in the Imperial Age. So they throw another dagger, but have a look at this. Have a look at this. Big army coming now. 4 Core. He's looking to put the pressure on. I tell you what, I'm getting a bit sweaty. I'm going to have to take my socks off. We're getting a bit personal in this game, aren't we? Talked a little bit about my son, about my declining cognitive health as I reach my mid-30s. Oh, man. I think that's a story most of us are going to be telling, isn't it? You know, if you're feeling sharp in your mid-30s, I want whatever. Give me the Adderall, man. I'm just kidding. But seriously, hook me up. No, but don't. Anyway, let's move back to the base of Core. You know what? I just realized we forgot to count Core's olive oil generation in the last little calculation. We looked at the top and we're like, yeah, Core's behind. And then it was like, olive oil? He's pumping literally 400 a minute. Like, that is an insane amount of olive oil. We should definitely consider that. We're not going to do it right now because the armies are kind of close to each other. Yeoman having a little bit of a look, and they're going to go straight down the middle. Massive damage on that back line. About 6 units get taken out at the very beginning of the fight. And now together with the Earl's Guard looking to hold that line and really put the pressure on Core. Core's going to rally in more reinforcements from the south, including Lanchconnect. The Yeomen need to focus them down. These guys are going to be the key damage dealers in this army. Longbows on the back line, still having a bit of trouble getting through it. You can see him focusing down the Yeomen one by one. But at the end of the day, it looks like the armies for Core should be able to hold. He's got enough Varangian Guard and enough horsemen to hold the line for the moment. Nice little crossbow on mining camp action right here from Happy Cat. That's going to be one happy crossbow, that is for sure. Look at that guy go. Until the longbows catch him. And now it's just a sad state of affairs for our House of Lancaster. Now, what was I talking about before? Oh, yeah, that's right, the economies. I wanted to compare the pair. Give me a second here. Okay, so we got 1K, 17K, 2.2K, 2.4K. I'll give him 2.5K for Happy Cat. So 2.5K, keep that one in your mind. And now we're at 1.4, 2.4. My lord, that number is incredible. Hold on a minute. Core, how do you fit all that in them jeans? Okay, 25, 32, 34? 38? Are we talking 3,800 right now? There's no way. He's got to be transferring villages or something. Has he just... Yeah, he's just dropped a whole bunch of farms. That's probably why. That's the excuse I'm going to give him. But he's dropped a second TC, though, and I think that's only just come up. We can see he's rallied... Where's he even rallied to on this TC? Is he rallied onto the sheep? I think he's rallied onto the sheep. Where is this villager even going? There's no rally point. But the village just moved. Has he just got it rallied on a wood? Perhaps, but we'll worry about it another day because we got ourselves another fight. Yeoman to the back. Oh, it's a terrible maneuver from Core. Fortunately, he manages to only lose the single longbowman, but I tell you what, it looked a lot worse initially. And then he moved into it and just made it even worse. It's one of those things where it's just better, just stand still and take it like a man, Core. Just, oh gosh. The numbers, though, starting to dwindle here for Happy Cat. He's got to be careful. He's obviously focused a little bit more on the economy in recent times, and because of that, Core is really starting to put some pressure on now. Reinforcements continue to come through, and it's going to be the muster of the nobles coming through. Now, how many manors does he actually have? If we ride on board with Happy Cat, we'll see he's only got 6, so still does not yet have that open field system. So he's not going to be really getting max value from these demi-lancers. Though, keep in mind, he does also get the bonus damage from the White Tower. So that'll be an extra +1 damage for him. He's actually got a lot of big upgrades that are coming through at the moment. He's also got decarbonization on the way as well, so that's going to be another 1 damage. So these units are going to be doing absolute work, and we can hear all those demi-lancers now starting to come out. He's going to throw down another keep, so that's exactly what we were talking about. Okay, the undiscovered House of Lancaster strategy might actually be online in this game. Foreign engineering company now going to be coming through towards the front of the base for Core. Always a bit dangerous. I'm always a bit sus whenever people put this down at the front of the base. I'm just like, look, this is an incredibly important landmark. just throw it in the back. Please, for your own sake, just throw it in the back. And as I say that, you can see Happy Cat literally en route towards that position, about to really shake this story up. And unfortunately for Core, I can't help but feel like he's going to have to cancel this. There's no way you're getting this one up. Not right now. I mean, his army's en route, but at the same time, yeah, it's going down. I'm yelling timber. We're getting Kesher in the house right now. And that one's going to be spotted out. So at least Happy Cat knows, okay, Imperial is on the way. That gives him a little bit of time. He can stop generating or training more units and can now really just look to try and focus now. He's in a bit of a tough spot here. He's going to get caught with his pants down in the event he goes into the base here, just simply because I don't see any way Core doesn't destroy this army immediately. Now, keep in mind, Core wants to avoid fighting because the age up is coming through right now. Oh, this could be really bad. The yeoman, there's a lot of yeomen here. 36, more than enough to one-shot, and you can see he's moving over towards this way. You've got to be careful of these villagers. These yeomen could absolutely take them out. Let's see if he goes for the synchronized shot. 3, 2, 1. He hits it! But immediately, look at the reaction, dude. Core was on the ball, dude. He knew exactly what was going on. Demi-Lancers coming through from the top, trying to reunite, and at the same time, Core's been somewhat baited around to the south side. You can see there's a couple of units down here. He's able to clean them up. He breaks down the wall, and through somehow the fire and the flames, Happy Cat may actually evacuate. Oh no, the mangonels caught out of position. How does he spot that? How did he even see that? Oh, he was running around. Anyway, look at this. He was looking to come around the back. He knew that there would be potential siege. And a quick wall now from Core coming in this tournament game. Keep in mind, this tournament game has already been played. If you'd like to see the live games, I will leave a link in the description of where you can catch it live this weekend, 15 GMT, Saturday and Sunday. But for the moment, it is just going to be a complete destruction of Happy Cat's army. He is getting slowly whittled down. I mean, by the same token, we got armies all over this map right now. Happy Cat doing a decent job of really keeping Core under control. Obviously, it could be better, but at the same time, I mean, I kind of like this little play out towards the edge of the map. Look how many vills he's killed. Dude, he's killed 32 vills. That is, when did that happen? Hold on, when did that happen? He must have killed a lot out here. I wasn't paying attention. I don't think Core was paying attention either. I think that he's killed quite a few in here as well. And look, the Demi-Lancers are still behind the scenes. He's taken out more. That's 33, make it 34. He's doing it. He's doing it. He's absolutely doing it. In the front of the base, the Berkshire is Berkshire? The Berkshire? The Berkshire? How are we going to pronounce it this time? We're going to go with Berkshire. The Berkshire. The Berkshire Palace is being produced towards the front of the... Sorry, that was... I don't even know where that was from. That was a little bit of like old Australian. Hello, good chap. That's almost old English, isn't it? What is... You know, sometimes they throw up videos of Australia back in like the 1980s, and I just hear the accent. I'm like, that's just an English accent, man. Like, you're not even... That's not even Australian. And it's kind of wild how much the Australian accent has changed over the years, because you go back and you look at those videos and it just feels like, I mean, it's a time capsule, but it really feels like that time capsule as well. But let's talk about Australia and more talk about the situation that is before us, because Happy Cat is moving into a brand new territory, a territory undiscovered, because we are witnessing right now the birth, I wouldn't say of a new strategy, because this was a strategy that, like, it was very obvious from the beginning, right? Like, it does what it says on the tin. It gives you extra damage depending on how many keeps you've got. It's just we never saw players do that. Everyone was like, Wingard kind of cool. King's College, it's kind of cool. And naturally, people went for those landmarks, and it meant that they would avoid these ones. But out of all games, a tournament game is the one where Happy Cat says, you know what? These ones are actually the cooler ones. So upgrades are coming through. Elite Yeoman, together with Plate Cutter Point and Tithe Barns now coming through. We also see Elite Earl Guards. So keep in mind, he's now getting an extra 1, 2, 3 damage. Lancaster Castle doesn't count. So if we check the Earl's Guard, he should be getting, yeah, he's got +5 at the moment. So that's +3, as well as the +2 melee that he's already got existing. Meanwhile, more units behind the scenes. We can see that the Varangian Guards have now been upgraded to Elite Varangian Guards. So he'll be looking to try and reinforce this southern position. You can see that Happy Cat is once again trying to find a way through onto the backline. We're right on board with Core here, though, as he looks to defend. His military number is significant. It outweighs the enemy. I love the way the base is layered here. Really gives that nice little onion effect, and you can see the Yeoman doing a wonderful job. Oh, look at what he's done. He's so cheeky. Yeoman push back the army and now move towards the north and really force a decision from Core here. Which one are you going to come after? You're going to come after my Earl's Guards, or are you going to come after my Yeoman? And the reality is, if you go after the Yeoman, they're just going to run away because they're too damn fast. 1.31 movement speed. Even the Varangian Guard not going to be able to catch them. And on the south side, if you try and go after the Earl's Guard, well, you guys know what happens when you chase a whole bunch of men-at-arms that have just got a whole bunch of daggers that they can throw. they start throwing the daggers. Now, numbers still looking good here for the longbowmen. So 12 damage on the longbowmen, only 7 armor on these Earl's Guard for the moment. So you're really going to be really going to be cutting through the armor here for them. So we'll absolutely be working them down, and unfortunately don't have the same speed, same maneuverability as the Knights and Demi-Lancers that we saw previously. But he's still doing a decent job, and Kor's in a tough spot. He's just lost this second town center as well, which means now he's really quite far behind, especially after losing 42 villagers in this game. So how does Happy Cat look to try and keep himself afloat here? The answer looks like it's just going to be with more defensive structures. We are witnessing the birth of the strategy, the ultimate defensive strategy. And I think, I mean, if we go back to the very beginning of this video, right? To the very beginning of this game, we were talking about the fact that there was a white tower. And you remember what I said? Remember how I said I don't like it? I don't like it. I said I don't understand it. Well, the truth is, just because you don't understand it doesn't mean you don't have to like it. And the point I'm trying to make is I didn't understand it and I didn't like it because I didn't understand it. But now that I understand it, I can look at that and go, you know what? This was actually a super smart move. Because as soon as this white tower comes down, it is an immediate declaration that, hey, you're not going to kill me. No matter how many units you make right now, you're not going to kill me. It's not going to happen. And that's going to buy him time. And when he buys himself time, he's now allowing himself to get further along in the game. And because of that, he's able to get more keeps up and eventually start snowballing. And now at this point, we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 keeps on the field. A huge amount of units now in the middle of the map as well, as the Byzantines face off against the House of Lancaster. We hear those English longbowmen as they shoot their arrows super duper fast. Horsemen get that upgrade that they need. Yeomen continuing to work their magic towards the back. The Earl's Guard have now got +7 damage coming through for them. Elite Army Tactics on the way for Kor as well. Yeomen still working their magic, trying to find a way through. Synchronized shot potentially coming through soon. More men-at-arms, or rather Earl's Guard's going to be rallied in. We've got unique men-at-arms on both sides here for these two players. Scootage now going to be completed as well for Happy Cat as he fires off towards Kor's army on the backline. And we've really got ourselves a fight to the death right here. How many manas are we up to for Happy Cat? I think if we click on him... Oh, I think he's moved up. Yeah, he's at 7 out of 9. So not quite yet 9 out of 9. But he'll get there soon. He'll get there soon. So I think he's at... Is he maxed out on these? Is there a way to check gains? I think he's sitting at... Hold on. He's got +2. So it would have to be yes. He's got 5 out of the 6 total. So he needs to add in 1 more keep. He's working towards it as well. Now those Earl's Guards, you can see how quickly they get cleaned up. Streltsy in the mix as well. He's got triple Streltsy out, a couple of crossbows, and of course a whole bunch of longbows in the mix. But the Yeoman, of course, going to be looking out for those longbows. He wants to try and make the connection. The Streltsy will definitely come up happily as well. Let's see. He's going to fire off towards the center of mass. Nice little split comes out from Kor immediately. But the defense is still looking very good from Happy Cat at this stage of the game. Keep in mind, he does have that Berkshire in the event that Kor goes a little bit too far. Earl's Guard make their way towards the 4. Plenty of Earl Guards here now as well. We've got that +3 armor also coming through for a little bit of melee extra melee armor. Let's go with that one instead. And our 6th and final keep has now been constructed. That puts us at 14 + 8. Elite Army Tactics going to be coming through in about 30 seconds as well. And that's going to give him an extra bit of damage. But these are going to be some incredibly powerful damage dealers here. On top of that, you've also got Demi-Lancers. But the only way you can actually get Demi-Lancers now is through the exact militia program. Alternatively, you could have gotten them if you'd gone into the Wingard. But if you go into the Wingard, then you don't get the Berkshire. And I feel like, you know what? If you're going to play into this, if you're going to make yourself a whole bunch of keeps, then you got to play Berkshire. You got to be Berkshire maxing. And this is good quality. Look what we're witnessing right now. A whole bunch of Earl Guards going to be coming out. They got an extra 3 damage then, and a whole bunch of extra health as well. So moving up to 207 health. Compare that to the Varangian Guard. Now Varangian Guard is, if I remember correctly, quite weak on the health side. Yeah, 196. So a little bit below, but damage wise, 22 base damage, which is not too bad, or at least 22 damage compared to 25. So extra health and extra attack. Now, what are the key differences between these two? I guess you've got, what do we got? 9 armor here compared to the 8 armor. That's one of the distinguishing features. 1.25 movement speed versus the 1.12 movement speed. So the Earl's Guard are that little bit faster. And now, all of these longbows. I think, is he just throwing away the longbows at this point? Yeah, he's just throwing away the longbows. He says, you know what, we don't need these longbows. They're just taking up population space, so he's trying to do his best to bait out as much damage as he can on the enemy side, while at the same time, get rid of his units. Mangonel in placement, now coming through on the front. Horsemen also looming. Cannon in placement. Dangerous to push into here without having any kind of siege, but he does have siege on the way. Double Culverin going to be coming in shortly. Happy Cat hovering towards that north side. First keep going to be run into by Core. Second keep about to be found. He's got a whole bunch of keeps out here. He's definitely keeping himself alive. And now a little bit of a wall on this top side, unfortunately going to be broken down very quickly. It's not even going to be needed to be broken down. But a little bit of a worry now, because down towards the bottom side, where is this army going? Happy Cat a little bit too happy with it. Just walking into the enemy, he's not paying attention. Now he's finally got the memo. And unfortunately, Varangian Guards do get that extra bonus damage, and they're going to look to absolutely burst all of this down. You can see they get that extra movement speed coming through. Meanwhile, towards the backside, Palisade Gate now got to be going down. Where are the units on the defense? Here they come. Hand Cannoneers together with the Earl's Guards. And now, all of the horsemen picking up that extra little bonus gold for killing the villagers. You can see the numbers starting to look a little bit better here. Happy Cat coming down closer to where Core is. Meanwhile, that army back towards the base of Core has been completely cleaned up, and you can see Core now looking to try and take advantage of the speed and power of the Varangian Guard. Of course, one of the things that we overlooked a little bit earlier was the fact that, of course, they had that hidden ability that they could utilize to get that improved power. Of course, they lose their armor when they do it, but it's incredible. Once you get a decent number of these going, you can see he's up to 60 now. It can be very difficult to stop. But of course, on the side of Happy Cat, he is absolutely happy to take a head-on fight right here, but now going to be looking to work down the Berkshire. Core is committing. Double cannon on the backside. Royal cannons, in fact. Not just any cannons, the royal cannons. Berkshire Palace. On the defense, he's got that +6 attack coming through. Earl's Guard looking to try and find a way through. They're going to commit to the cannons. They know if they take out the cannons, that's going to be it, but the Berkshire falls. And with that, we now see a slight reduction in the damage that these units will be doing. I wonder if that also reduces the cap as well. They can now only go up to a +4 cap. Varangian Guard's going to be trying to run through the base. Is that what he's going for instead of going for the army? Whole bunch of hand cannoneers at the back here, looking a little bit easy, a little bit vulnerable. Yeoman going to get caught out of position as well. Another Culverin going to go down. The numbers still looking good for Happy Cat. Reinforcements are flowing in. He's got 6 Earl's Guards in the queue at the moment. And it looks like the consolidation from Happy Cat has been very good. I feel like Core has probably misplayed his hand here. He had a really good army, but has now just somewhat thrown it away. And I think it was largely due to pathing and just a lack of consolidation. Ideally, you should have just been letting the Royal Cannons do all the sieging, and everything else should have just been defending the Royal Cannons. Another Royal Cannon now going to be coming through. Numbers looking really good for Happy Cat all of a sudden, though. A little bit of a raid behind the scenes. Villager count 85 versus 96. Keep in mind, Happy Cat has the relic advantage. He's also got a number of manas working magic for him. But undoubtedly, he'll be looking to repair the Berkshire Palace. And we do see there's quite a few vills over here. It's going to be costing him a lot of wood with this many villagers, but he will get this up shortly. Meanwhile, towards the north side, has he got Court Architects in? He does have Court Architects through. No, he doesn't. The Berkshire just has 6,500 health. Yeah, okay, never mind. He doesn't have Court Architects through. It's one that he's neglected to pick up, an upgrade that he's neglected to pick up. No Serpentine Powder just yet either. But might be a wise idea when you've... Oh. Okay. Happy Cat. Happy Cat with a little bit of a proxy. So what's the play here? He's obviously just going to play Earl's Guard, right? And just... Is he rallying? So he's not even waiting for like a group of them to go in. He's just going to start rallying them. This is annoying to deal with, but like all this requires is like 4 Streltsy and a Royal Cannon, and you can clear this up. This is not a big deal. The issue is going to be if he got to like 15 or 20 and then he attacked, because then those 15 and 20 come through, immediately hit the palisade, immediately hit the next one, come through onto the back, and then by the time that these guys get dealt with, because inevitably they're going to run through the base, the next 15 to 20 have come through and are now doing their thing, and it basically just becomes this constant flow of units that you got to deal with. Whereas right now, the fact that they're just slowly trickling in, you can 100% stem the bleeding very, very quickly. All you got to do is just wrap it up real quick, and that's it. Nice and done, nice and quick. More units continue to come through though. It's got villagers in position, ready to throw down extra defenses. The numbers continue to build for Happy Cat. He's rebuilt the Berkshire Palace. A total of 36 damage. How do you have 36 damage? Where are you even getting 36 damage from? It says 33 on the dagger and 26 on the warhammer. Oh, did I say 36? I'm sorry. Where am I getting 36 from, bro? Sorry, my maths is not my strongest suit. 26 damage. Okay. How did I possibly think that was 36, dude? Where was I carrying the extra 1 from, dude? I'm looking down here like 14 plus 12, 36. That's a lot of damage. Oh man, I'm glad I double checked those numbers because that could have been embarrassing. Drongo failing like grade 2 maths. Not even grade 2, dude. That's like grade 1 maths. Varangian Guard's on the way through. He's gone for the double stone walls over on the edge of the map here. Outpost, of course, blocking out the first one. Berkshire going to be able to hold on for the majority of this defense, but more Varangian Guards moving towards the north. In fact, quite a bit of them making their way up towards that northern position. Both players getting the idea of, hey, maybe I'll go do a little bit of proxy flanking and see how we go, and it seems to be working. It's magic. Not a whole lot of units back here to defend. You can see the rest of the units towards the front having a little bit of trouble here. Meanwhile, the cleanup crew looking good. Core in a strong position in this game. Now, keep in mind, we're not going to be casting every single game in this series. If you want to check out the rest of these games, make sure you go check out EGC TV. I'll be leaving a link down in the description of where you can watch these games live this weekend. Make sure you go say good day for me. I'd love to be over there casting it, but unfortunately, it's about 2 a.m. in the morning when those casts start. And, well, I've got children now, and 2 a.m. doesn't really work that well with children. But you know what does? Happy cats. Sorry, we had to throw back to the opening of this video. Oh, man. Well, it looks like the cleanup crew has arrived. Happy Cat has managed to happily clean up this crew for the moment. We hear more reinforcements coming in over on that west side as well. You can just hear how quickly those units just pop out. Have a look on the side of Core, though. Struggling to keep those units training. He's at 169 population. There's obviously a lot going on in this game, but his brain is not focused on units. Okay, now we see him throwing things in queue. Varangian Guards are now in queue. He's thrown a bunch of hand cannoneers also, but the walls are looking better. The stone walls, I love the way that these stone walls are. The way that he's got them angled around like this. It makes it feel so unforgiving. Almost like there's no way you're going to get through this the way that he's got these angled. This is really, really cool as well. Meanwhile, towards the south, Nesta B is going to get caught out of position. You can see them throw off their daggers. Unfortunately, they're going to miss here, but I don't think it matters too much in the end. The Earl's Guard's going to have absolutely no trouble cleaning that one up. We see another stone wall just randomly placed out here. Earl's Guards making their way through. He's got a number of different sets coming in. Battering ram working its magic on the front. A single keep stands tall. It's got the cistern here with the Presidium bonus to provide that little bit of extra HP or effective HP, EHP. Because it's technically not HP, it's effective HP. The way that it works, it reduces the amount of incoming damage depending on the water level. So we can see it's going to decrease it by 25% because we're water level 5. So quite a bit of reduction there. So changes the effective HP from what, 5k to 6.25k? Somewhere in that region probably. Makes your repairs a lot more effective as well because you're essentially repairing 1.25. Does that work the same way? It probably works the other way. It's probably higher. It's probably like you're effectively repairing 1.3, right? 1.33? Is that the number? If it's 1.25 coming down, so that means your 100 damage is now doing 75. So that means that when you repair, you're only repairing that 75 loss of health. You know what? I can't do the math right now, but I'm sure I'm probably onto the right track right there. The math guys will get me. Anybody who's not a math guy is probably still going to get me as well because it's basic stuff. But yeah, don't worry. Don't worry, we'll get there. Court Architects has come through now as well. You can see he's up to 6,500 health. Has the Court Architects come through on the other side? No, not yet. Every single upgrade has come through, though, on the side of Happy Cat. And more Earl's Guards now being rallied in towards this position. He's got a lot of Raxes over here. How many Raxes are we talking right now? If we double check, let's have a look. It's got 62 farms and 19 barracks. That is a lot of production. Still he needs more, and you can see him, you can hear them popping out, and now those Earl's Guards are gonna look to try and start this fight. 26 damage compared to the 22 of the Varangian Guards until, of course, they pop their berserking power. Of course, they're going to lose quite a bit more health. Look at the damage on the Streltsy, dude. What the hell? Why do you have 63 damage? Jeez Louise. That's ridiculous. Why do the Streltsy have so much damage? Hold on. Oh, it's showing their melee damage. I completely forgot that Streltsy have a melee animation. That they play if you get into melee combat with them, you can see right there. That's 63 damage apparently. Apparently those weapons do quite a bit. But it looks like he's probably not going to need those weapons over on this western side. Meanwhile, towards the front, I mean, Happy Cat's really dividing and conquering his opponent right now. Reinforcements are going to continue to work this down, but Hand Cannoneers should be able to clear out any of those reinforcements without too much hassle. Keeper's doing God's work here, but unfortunately, no vills to repair it mean it is no chance of surviving. And with this, you're going to now clean up this little proxy base over on the west side, but at what cost? Has there been enough damage done over on the east? Doesn't really seem like it. I think, if anything, Core's just kind of cleaned it up, and he's feeling good about himself at this stage of the game. So, who does this really favor? We're 45 minutes into this game, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know who's in a better spot. Before this little engagement, I would have said Happy Cat was, because of this position. But the fact that that's now been nullified, I don't know which way to go. I kind of like the ability of Core to start setting up some kind of trade, because realistically, he's got the trade post here. There's also this one towards this side, but you can see he's actually now going to start doing it. So the market's coming through. Of course, he's got the olive oil that's going to be coming in from traders as well. So there's definitely something to be said about having all of this land across the other side of the map. But the numbers continue to look good for Happy Cat now. As the defense comes in on that north edge. Cataphract number building. 506 health on these bad boys. They're going to get taken out pretty quickly by these Hand Cannoneers on the back. The STB is going to look to try and open up. At the same time, more attacks happening over on that west side. Unfortunately, just throwing away a whole bunch of Streltsy. Speaking of throwing away units, have a look at this as all of a sudden Happy Cat able to overwhelm this Byzantine force. Battering rams making their way towards the production. Let's check in and see on the production side of things, how much is Core actually running with at the moment? 9 archery ranges, 11 stables, 12 Raxes. He's just lost one. He's about to lose another one, so call it 11. So he's got a decent amount of production as well, more than 30 production buildings, which is what you would expect at this stage of the game. About 30 production buildings makes sense. Meanwhile, Streltsy gonna get cleaned up once again on this keep at the north. I think he's still got maximum stacks. Yeah, he's still got max stacks. 25. Or 26 rather. Or should I say 36? I'm just kidding. It's not 36. The cleanup finally happens. Battering, or rather, Kairusafont's coming out now as well for Core. And Core's... Is Core... see, there's a part of me that thinks Core's looking really good because of the Vill count. But then I'm just going back and thinking, well, hold on a minute. Happy Cat has got all of this extra military space. Or all of this extra population space that he can now turn into military. Whereas Core can't do that. Core needs to be making... or needs to be having villages. Whereas... I was about to call him Happy Feet. Happy Cat. Happy Cat's got the manners. He's got a total of 9 manners. 99% sure, yeah, 9 manners. He's got the tithe barns on the relics, and he's got 4 relics in total. So he is absolutely printing free resources right now. That is incredible. Spearmen now coming out. They've got their Billman upgrade. So immediately you can see these units going to be forced back away from it. So he's moving into a little bit more of a trash focus. Elite upgrade coming through for the Billman Spearmen as well. And now back towards that top side. Have a look at this. They've broken through the Earl's Guard. Now we're going to start putting pressure on, and I think we might have trouble. Core could be in trouble right here. This is not good for Core. He's getting overwhelmed. Look at the military numbers. Despite the economic advantage that he's got, and when I say economic advantage, I want to put that in like quotations because he's getting absolutely driven apart. Oh, it's over. Oh, it's over. You can't. How do you stop this? Your economy's idled. Look at this. All the villas on the run now. And once you're into this economy, there's no keep to defend it. There's no boiling oil to help it. He's got a little bit of an army over towards this west side. Streltsy just, I mean, he threw away the Streltsy here. This could have been instrumental in the defense. He's got Varangian Guards making their way back. He manages to clean these up. Bills are also working down the Kairusafonts. At the same time, though, I mean, where do you go from here? You've just lost so much tempo. You've gone completely idle on all of your olive groves. Not only do you lose that food, you lose that olive oil. The trade that was to be set up, I don't think we've even seen a single trader out just yet from him, or if we have, it's probably been mauled by the army of the House of Lancaster. But towards the other side of the map, we do see a counter push coming through, 21 military units. The trouble is that villages are on the run. We can see those elite spearmen making their way down to the south, and he gives it up. Ladies and gentlemen, Happy Cat coming out with the victory here today over Core. Now, keep in mind, this is not the last game in the series between these two, but it is the last game we're going to be casting here. So make sure you go check out EGC TV this weekend to watch more action-packed games. I'll be leaving a link in the description. Go say g'day for me.